What are your priorities for this session?
Well, the biggest priority, obviously, is dealing with the McCleary decision. And the way we do that's going to be extremely important. And so one of my priorities lies there as well. And that is protecting tax incentives that we know bring jobs to our state, that are currently protecting jobs in our state, and making sure that there aren't other tax increases or other ways of increasing taxes on the citizens of our state.
Do we really need a $1.4 billion tax hike like the governor wants?
You know, a lot of people keep asking that, and a lot of people seem to be really confused with what our revenues are actually doing. A lot of people think our revenues are down, when in fact they're up. We're going to have about $3.8 billion more when we write this biennial budget than when we wrote the one 2 years ago. $3.8 billion more. So if there's a tax increase of $1.4 billion, that would be $5.2 billion more in spending as we start this budget than what we started the last budget. Why is $3.8 billion not enough? That's what the economy is already generating. Why do we have to go and increase taxes and take more money out of people's pockets? It just doesn't make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to the citizens out there.
What issues are you working on that are of interest to people in Southwest Washington?
Well, obviously there's a lot of talk about a gas tax package right now, a gas tax increase. And one of the things that I've said is before we take any more money out of people's pockets, we need to make sure that that money will go further. And so I'm trying to work with my colleagues up here to try and make sure that we're reforming DOT, we're reforming the way projects are done. We're making sure that all of the gas tax dollars actually go to fund transportation projects rather than a portion being siphoned off into the general fund to go for social services and that sort of thing. I want to create more job opportunities. We still have a lot of people that are either unemployed or underemployed, and it doesn't show up in our unemployment numbers. But what you really have to look at is not really the unemployment numbers, because that just records the people who are getting unemployment benefits. It doesn't show those people who are no longer qualified, so aren't even getting unemployment benefits. They're getting zero. And it doesn't account for those who have never had a job, those people coming out of college who can't find a job. And that's the segment of our society that really has the highest unemployment right now. So we need to make sure there are job opportunities out there. And I think there are a lot of things that we can do to help assure that our economy continues to grow and actually increase the rate at which our economy grows. And the thing is, if we do that, if we get our economy growing, we'll see our revenues grow without increasing anybody's tax rate. We can make everybody's budget better on their kitchen table. We can make the budgets better for all of our local governments, and we can make the budgets better here at the state. That's the way we do it, and that's the only way we can do it in a sustainable manner. We're already seeing that some tax incentives that are expiring are costing us jobs. We're not necessarily losing existing jobs, but companies that are looking to expand, either within our state or to expand from other areas into our state, take a look at our state and say, that tax incentive is gone. I'm going to look somewhere else. And we've seen $1 billion of investment going to 5 other states that could have come here. And a big part of it is because a tax incentive either did expire or was on the verge of expiration. And so even if it's in place, but it's on the verge of expiring, they're saying that's a risk. And they're not willing to take that risk in our state. So they'll go someplace where it's less risky. So we need to look at those things. We need to understand the dynamics. We need to understand who we're competing with. And in some cases, we're competing with other states, and in some cases, we're competing with other nations. We look at some companies, and they're competing within their corporate structure. So something in Southwest Washington that is part of a bigger company that has locations in other states or in other countries, the one in Southwest Washington has to prove that it's better within that company than another site within that company. And so we need to make sure that we are competitive, that we're the desired location, and that the expansion happens here and not somewhere else.